Guys, Mechanic Shiv here. I've got this beautiful example of this Nissan XR here. It's got the let's look at the engine code, guys. E15 turbo engine. Okay, so yeah, it's a really nice example. Now this one's on the road. The engine has been rebuilt at one stage in its life. So yeah, we will be doing in this particular video, the timing belt and the water pump and the thermostat. Okay, not much videos on it or at all. So we'll get started into it. Now first thing to do is jack up the car, front wheels off. Bloody hell. Alright, and you're going to go ahead and loosen that crank bolt. It's a number 17, or just use an impact gun. Loosen up that crank bolt, and then we're going to go take off our belts. Okay, so this is the first belt to take off. Okay, that's the AC belt. So pretty straightforward. You take off that nut there, take off this nut here, and when you unwind it, sorry, you're going to be winding it in. This thing should go up to let go of the belt. Now, the alternator guys, so we're going to go down here. The second belt is that one there, okay, from the pulley. Now, going up on the water pump, comes around to the alternator. Now, for the alternator to take the belt off there, you'll have to loosen up this bolt there, and the adjuster is way up on top. So I'll show you that from the top if I can get it. And we'll go from there. So that's how to take off the two bolts. The two belts, sorry. So the adjuster is here. Okay. So once you and even to adjust that back up, there is you're just going to use a pry bar and lock it up. You're just going to use a pry bar to lock up the belt for the alternator there. So we'll be replacing that belt as well. So guys, go ahead and do that as your first step. And yeah, I'll go from there. One thing that's really cute is that the crank bolt is a number 17, but this nut here, which holds the tensioner, is a number 19. And then the bottom bolt, which is here, the adjuster, that's a number 12. So in turn, if I go any clockwise, it's going to go up because the bolt is dragging it up. Okay, so once you do that, you can slowly go up, and then you can use your hand. Okay, move that around. So I'm going any clockwise in the adjuster, and it's coming up. Now I'm going to go all the way because I will be taking off this pulley, and plus when the new belt goes on, it's going to be a lot more tighter. It's just the thing with V belts, and sometimes you can just take it off completely where the adjuster will just fall. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, so there goes that. Now it's really flopping, and take it off like so. Now wrap it around here. I don't know what. So go up. Yep. So it's still a bit tight, and that's the AC belt done. Alrighty guys. Now let's focus on this nut here, this bolt here. Go ahead and take that off, and I'm going to move over to the video on the next slide. So I'm going to remove this bolt now. Oh, well, loosen it. Gone ahead and loosen up this bolt. Yeah, I've gone a fair bit because there will be a bushing that they're resting on. Now I'm going to come back up. I've got a long spanner to 14mm. Just going to get any clockwise on that, like so, and loosen her up. And once she's loose, you can actually push the alternator in. And guys, I'm not taking off the battery for now. You won't have to disconnect it to just move the alternator around unless you're going to be touching the power, the hot side to it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get my hand in there and move it back. So what I've done with the alternator, I've moved it in, and see now the bolt is up there, so that's maxed. That's not maxing yet, but I'm going to move it more this way. Okay, see how that's moving, and every time you move it towards the front headlight, it's going to get looser, and when you go to tighten it up, you're going to get a pry bar and pry it open. You're going to pry it outside, so towards the firewall of the vehicle. Okay, so that's, as you can see, the belt's pretty loose, and you can go ahead and take it off like so. So I'm going to go underneath. In my case, let's make it a bit easy for myself, and look at that, guys, that's the second belt out. Okay, once you've removed the two belts, this step you don't have to do, but I'm going to do it because that's how I roll. I'm going to take this airbox off completely, and then the bridge for the mass airflow sensor, including the mass airflow sensor. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've unbolted this, so it's a Phillips head screw. I've lifted a bit up. It is a bit fiddly for some reason. Okay, and you just gotta unhook here so you can lift her up, but then aligning the all together at one time. So I'm just going to put the camera down and lift this up together just so I can pull this out. Okay, and then it'll expose just like so. Okay, so I'm going to put this away, and we're going to go on to the airbox side. So the bolt to be taken off is this one here, and then there's a couple bolts missing from this airbox actually. One bolt there and another bolt in there, which is already missing. Okay, so I can see 3 mounting points. If there's any more, I'll let you know. So go ahead, guys, take off your airbox. So you've got one bolt there, one bolt there. Not that Phillips head, I don't know what that's doing there, mate. You got another one here, another one there, and then this one here. So it's also got a noise, or the intake chute, not the noise one. So yeah, that's what the airbox will look like, guys. Next step, straightforward, undo that connector, and we're going to take it off on this tube here. There may be a mounting bracket for it, I'm not too sure. Yes, there is a mounting bracket for it, so I'm going to show you how to do that one next. Take this mass airflow sensor out, and guys, I'm just doing this just to give myself some room. You don't have to do this, I'm doing it because I just like to take time and do things nicely. So the bolt locations are here and here. Now what you're gonna have to do is put this up. Now I did say before you have to pull it down, but that's wrong. So you get these clips here, and I'm gonna try and do this one-handed. If not, I'll just give you a gist of what's happening. So you're gonna get in here, I'm gonna pull that out, and guys, this stuff will spring. It will spring. It's spring loaded, so if this falls, good luck. Good luck, guys. So I'm just gonna run my hand down it and just see where it lands to. Almost out, and hopefully it stays. I'm holding it now. So here it is, and I'm literally just holding on with my bare nails now. But yep, and now it's pretty loose. I can't let go. And I think I've done it. So I take that ring off. Don't want to leave it there. Leave this with my bolts for now, and that will allow me to pull this down. And then I've also undone that one, so now I can pull this out. Okay, like so. And I'll put this at the back. Try not to drop it, damage it as much. It is very sensitive inside here. Okay, this looks like a reman unit as well. Alrighty, guys. I know this is a bit too far into the video, but I'll just talk about some technical data. Now, I was meant to remove these bolts before taking the belt off, But the thing is, it wouldn't really make a difference because these belts, they're pretty worn and they're cracked, and they're gonna spin anyway. So what I'd do is I'm gonna try holding it with my hand because it is a small water pump, and using my manpower to crack this open. If I can't, I'm just gonna get myself, without damaging the pulley, a pair of multi grips, and lock it onto here. And then when this goes and rests onto the mount, it can actually allow me to open these bolts up, guys. So not a big deal. We'll figure out a way how to do that. But if you do have the belt on, it is preferred to take it off then. If not, then it's okay. Like the mistake I've made. Now, guys, this is the first time I'm doing something like this, especially when there's no information except for the manuals or whatever. So you got to pay attention to detail. You notice I'm putting all the bolts back in their locations. Now, another thing I'm doing, see this? I'm not going to go and take off this right now because I can see that the hole is going through the timing cover. This could potentially mean that the timing belt tensioner is there. I'm not saying it is there, but I'm going to take off all the other bolts and leave this on there because I don't know what this stud is doing right now. Before I do that, I have to take the alternator bracket off. Okay, go ahead and take that out. Someone's put a wheel nut of some size, unless it's a factory bolt, I don't know. Also, I've gone and loosened up my crank pulley. So what I'm going to do now while I'm up here, I'm going to take off this bracket here, then I'm going to go down and take off my harmonic balancer. Now, guys, I am lucky. I don't know if it's going to work for you the same. It's a 17mm bolt. I've literally just cracked it. So, yep, just take that bolt out, take the pulley out. Now, there's some timing marks here for when they've adjusted spark ignition timing. I'm going to try and use the timing marks on the timing belt to the engine block rather than the timing cover. Now, you are meant to put out timing top dead center before you take this out, but the thing is, when I do it, I always look at the marks inside the engine, alright, not on the outside, because the timing cover could be bolted up because it's plastics in the wrong way. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and go from there. The two nut, that's a number 19, that's a number 14. That is actually a factory bolt from Nissan. It just looks like a cute little nut. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside for now because this will go back in. Now I'm going to go and take off the bracket, so there's a stud here. And then also, you'll be going up there, so lift this up. Just simple. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and thread the bolt back onto wherever I got it from. Go from there. So it's starting to see some room here now. Okay. So number 19. Just like so. Now this bolt, this has to come out like that. So it was a bit tight before. It didn't take much to take it out. Okay, so I think it's staying on the dowel pin. Yep, like so, and lift that out of the way. Now we can start to see why I'm changing the timing belt, and it's because of oil leaks. So I can already see a reference mark here, and that usually is, see the keyway is here. It's usually the keyway which is the mark, but then it's going to mark here, so that may be bottom dead center or that may be top dead center. Now the way you want to confirm that is take off the cylinder 1 spark plug. Okay, and also see how the cam will line up, especially when you've got no data on how to do the timing belt. This is something to consider, how you would work that out. Okay, so we're working it out on those things like so. So technically the keyway points to the gear, which is top dead center, and then there's a mark at the bottom here. Anyway, we'll figure all this out as we go, and we'll get it going. And be careful, guys, this is interference engine, so do watch this video completely before you start the job, not watch it bit by bit, because I'm going through this car as I see it. Now I can pick very quickly if something's fishy or something's wrong. Okay, so yeah, let's go from there. I'm going to go ahead and remove my Phillips head screws here, and I am contemplating whether I'm going to replace these with 10mm bolts, because just for future repairs, I don't know how long these are going to last till, okay, with the Phillips head. But let's see how I go. You don't have to, but let's see how I go. And let's take off these bolts. The tool selection I'm using at the end of the moment is the Phillips head bit. Just make sure it's the right one for the screws. In this case, this is a, I don't know if this means anything, but it's a PZ2. And I've got a, because my quarter drive don't work, I'm using this, but you can use a quarter drive. Go through it. The screw should look something like this. Make sure it fits in the head properly, because there's a Phillips head and really easy to strip, especially the one in here, in there. Okay, now why I've taken off that one is because I'm going to go to the top in a minute. Now this one won't come off first, so first the top cover has to come off, then the bottom cover. So I do know that, but I said while I'm here doing the harmonic balancer, I'll take that out too. Okay, so let's go upstairs and let's take off the rest. Don't make the mistake I did, but it's not really a mistake, it's just experience, man. And what it is, you got to take the water pump pulley off before you can pull the cover out. Okay, there's just a little bit of clearance issue there, but that's okay. The pulley's coming off anyway. So I'm going to show you guys how to take off a pulley when you've already taken the belt off, because some of you will do that, and that's okay. Now another thing is, guys, inside here, okay, in there you've got a 10 mil bolt, so that makes it a bit easier instead of a Phillips all around. Okay, so now my thing is free. I've just got that bolt tucked in there. I can take that off. Do not touch these yet. Okay, my suspicions are true. And then yeah, let's go from there. So let's take off the water pump pulley. Once again, this is something I've just come up with on the spot, thinking mechanically minded. Now this won't damage it. All you got to do is just grab it on, and as it locks up, you turn those. So I've managed to crack all 4 bolts. And I'm not holding it with too much pressure here, just enough to grip it, and it's not going to damage the pulley. So that's good. Okay, guys. So water pump pulley is now out. Just go ahead and undo this nut, not the top ones. Now with the later model car, good luck trying to put a motor group there and taking it off, because you ain't doing it. And even just to get the pulley out of here. Alright, so that just falls out. That exposes to us the timing belt area. Okay, guys, so straight away I can see a mark here, which will be the top dead center of the cam, and then my tensioner layout over here. Okay, so looks like it's the type with the flatheads, and then I've also got what appears to be an oil pump or a balance shaft right there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that and go from there. That look be interesting. Now we're going to also diagnose where the hell the oil leak's coming from, because it's meant to be coming from the cam area, but it hasn't so far. So we're going to see if it's the balance shaft or the oil pump issue, or where's it leaking from. Okay. So 100% confirmed that is the oil pump there. So what we're going to do now, before we get this to top dead center and mark the marks up, so I've got a couple of timing marks, and I'll leave a photo of what it should look like, because there's 2 types of pulleys, and you got to choose which one you get when you open the timing cover. So these bolts here, I'm going to crack these first, okay, before I take the belt off. And then when they're loose, then I can see what's going on behind this thing. I aligned it to top dead center according to the factory manual. So the dot, what's happened there, mate? What's happened there? Yeah, right. Love it, leave it. So now I've aligned it to top dead center. So that's the mark there. Go to this mark there. That's for the cam. I've already cracked these nuts. These bolts, sorry. The arrow should be facing that way. And then let's go down here. So that gear should go right in that groove. So that's the timing marks, guys, for a Nissan E15 Et turbo. Alright. spanner here, so we're going to release the tensioner. Okay. And it should fling back. What I'm going to do is just get a screwdriver in here and see if I can get that to turn either way. So I'm actually flexing it out that way a little bit. And I'm going to try and put you here. And I'm going to lock this up. Okay, so I'm going to if I can get my spanner, probably not, but anyway, I'll just slide the belt off for now. Like so. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to release it. I'm just going to release it here. Look at that. So when I put this back on, I'm going to have it in the fully open position, and then lock it up and then undo it while the belt's already on there. Alright, so we'll piss this belt off now and move over to the next step, which will be the pulleys. Alright, so when I take the tension off, there will be a spring in the back, so we'll see how we'll work that out. Very simple tension design. There's a hole in there, right there, so the spring, make sure the spring goes in there, and that's what's going to give you the flex. Then you're going to turn it that way and then lock it up, just so you can get the belt on. So that's looking good, and now we're going to be taking off the pulleys to see where the leak's coming from. Okay, go ahead and piss these off. I'm going to be putting this aside for now, and then we'll go to the bottom. The bottom one's a bit easier, so you can access it from here as well. It's got a bigger problem than before. So it's got the oil pump still is wet. Okay, but my problem is this thing here. If it's pulling up there, pulling out the back. So we're gonna open up this one as well, and then we're gonna make sure we know what this stuff is. It's not gasket glue or whatever it is. So, coming from behind here, just gonna make sure that's not oil. Doesn't seem to be oil, but yeah. Let's see. Here we go. Guys, with this one, I've taken it off a little bit. Still struggling to take it off, but basically, what I'm using is a small screwdriver, and I'm just prying it this way, and then I'm going to soak it a lot with WD-40 overnight. But yeah, I need to get this oil seal. And I need to get that. This one comes in a kit, but this one doesn't. So I'll have to get those because it's leaking. And yeah, go from there. This stuff here is just gasket glue. This is not an oil leak at all. Okay, and also I need to reseal this area here because it's leaking oil as well. Alright.